So we often look at I don't know if we want to call it that, but anyway, on the atomic level, yes, everything coming together from hydrogen to make solid matter and condensing, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever look at the thoughts that can get condensed? So we take a car, yes?
Yeah.
Just a standard car, let's have a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
All of it came from a mind, yes? Thoughts, lots of introspection and thinking hard. All of those thoughts that condense into one object called a car.
Yeah.
In order to get it to work, we often think that a car was created by one person. Not really. What about a house? We often think that it's probably created by one person, yes? But it's not. If we think about a house as well, it's a condensing of thoughts. So to say crazy, we're not even touching the surface in that. I mean, we're basically just dipping our toes in the water, probably, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we think about house, how to mine these resources, each from the tiles, each from the thought, from the beams, from the wood, to the doors, to the handles, to the screws that went into it, to being able to take these resources from an area
Yeah.
and bring these together, which is condensing. Then the TVs, there's a lot of thoughts inside a house.
Yeah.
Before you even take care of your own thoughts, there's a lot of thoughts gone into it. What about making concrete,
Yeah.
carpets, paint? You can keep going, right? The gloss itself. There's so many condensed thoughts come together to create a house or a car or a train or a bus. And then how many thoughts have gone into creating a society? It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot, yes, a lot of compacting.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there we are taking something that is invisible to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we say, we visualize, yes, but it's invisible most of the time, right? Like 80% of the time? What would you say? How many people are thinking these days? Really deep diving into thoughts. And then, well, if we think about that, there's not a lot. Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe. But anyway, so it appears to be invisible, yes?
Yeah.
Appears to be. Appears to be crazy, right? To think that you manifested thought about it, and it goes back all the way to hunter-gatherers. So when we look at the human spectrum of how long they've been alive for, or been aware is a better word, isn't it?
Yeah.
To become aware of your existence and then really start to take, rather than being automatic, grabbing this, defending this, eating this, a bit like animal living is automatic almost.
Yeah.
And you bring it into a manual. You go a manual. That's then when you become aware of your existence. And then you really start consciously thinking about the environment to incorporate it. That's interesting, isn't it? And then all the way back from then, there are things that have happened. Stone age, metal age, glass age, wood age, all of these ages and so on. And then industrial age, and then farming, agricultural age. Ooh, there's so much. Space age. Oh, man, it just keeps going, doesn't it? Look how many thoughts have been condensed from a long period of time till now and squashed together that then built the whole civilizations that everybody is in now. And we say someone that thinks out the box, in the box, around the box, chucks away the box, brings back the box and makes a bigger box from the original small box. Anyway, so we say that's crazy, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, I say we, but most people label that as crazy. Go on, we'll say we.
Mm-hmm.
But to think, where did all of those thoughts come from? Who gave them to you?
Yeah.
Sure, you added your 2 pennies to it, threw it back, come back, threw it back, come back, threw it back. Thoughts are an interesting thing. Throw them away. They'll often boomerang back with more data in it. People will say, well, this is your subconscious mind. Well, maybe. I don't know about that. The subconscious mind would have to have an ancient level of knowing before the body, and therefore the life forms must be older than the body. That would be an interesting thing to think about, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No. A collective ancient wisdom that seems far older. It seems very young when a universe is old, and it seems very old when a universe is young, depending on the cycle where you look at it and become aware of that. Such a condensing, compactness of thoughts, all bounding around into a physical reality. Quantum reality. QR, isn't it really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then when you look at all of this structure and close your eyes, you see it back, and something throws into it again. What happens if you did this? What about this, this, and this? And then another thing that's really interesting is how many people from different bloodlines can pick up this and move it on and move it on and move it on. So you could say it's your subconscious, but how does your subconscious mind connect to somebody else's? In that aspect. Interesting. And then another mind connects to this one, which then you would start asking the word about telekinetic. No, telepathy.
Yeah.
You know, would it be weird if we saw other life forms and they had the same feeling too and sort of built this stuff in a similar sort of way as well, but picked and choose what they wanted to focus on mainly? Sure. Then what's that? Telekinesis? Telepathy again?
Yeah.
Wider range? Ooh. Now, are we all connected? Or are we all connected to the same, let's say, master, if you want to call it that? Anyway, that sounds too much, that is, but still. And then, again, you would have to see it from a perspective of move your mindset forward and imagine loads of life forms. Never mind all of the battling or whatever else. I think we make a fear out of nothing, mainly.
Yeah.
Take all of these collective together. And let's say they combine this inner thread that seems to make them condense and think and build a reality. And then why you and not animals? Why them and not animals? Why them and not nature? Why them and not... Again, another question. If we're all connected to telepathy, yes, then how come these are not? Or maybe they are, but how come these ones aren't aware of that? And you are? Why have you been selected? Wow, that's specialness in its little self. Now imagine all of these collective thoughts, all of these thoughts just oozing around the place, and each one has its own different collection of thoughts, which probably exceeds humanity. It seems very big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems very big to the average person, a city, a civilization, a world. It seems big to a person.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being one person thinking up all of that? I'm not saying it's impossible, but again, could you imagine if we moved our thinking process and we were thinking up things this big? How much more we would add to it? That's very interesting. And to be aware of it, to know how to interact with these thoughts, that's another thing entirely, right? Because some of the things from ancient times, some of the information has been lost. Yes? Could you imagine if each of these life forms combined all of their thought process to how much more bigger than themselves that would be? It'd be huge, isn't it? Sort of manifesting something here. What is that thing? Is it a god? Is it spiritual? Is it bloodline? Is it all of these things? Even if you knew, why would you say anything? Why would you need to? Fast forward 1,000 years from now and everyone will disbelieve it anyway. It was doctored, it was this, it was someone who was lying, or they did this, or it was something, there were loads of stuff. Roll with that. Why? Because, well, mystery enhances the evolution, doesn't it? Again, there's one guaranteed with this. It is going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to change. That's one guarantee, right? So evolution means what? Well, a bit like weather, really, isn't it? Changing environment, changing this, changing... So if it's got a lot of ancient wisdom, is it clearly foreseeing something? And it's trying to prevent the life forms that want to walk the path. I'm going to have to say that. And then how many life forms in this cycle, last cycle, any cycle? Ooh, if you could really tap into that, how much does it hold? How much information does it hold? What's the purpose of life? Some people might ask. There is a purpose to it. There's a great big purpose to all of this, isn't it? It's a very interesting thing. Anyway, how much of this Santa's sack, if you want to call it that, sounds a bit weird, well, we're going with it, is there? That would be a question. And if per cycle, how many life forms? And we'll talk about life forms. If there was just one, humans, then there would just be one star system, your own planetary system. There'd be nothing else. There'd be no point. That's a waste of energy, really, isn't it? Defies the object. But there seems to be just enough abundance around you to transform, to help you on this little journey of expansion. Nice. Condensing all of those invisibleness. Can't see it. Whoa. But if I shut my eyes, I can see it. But this, and this, look at this vision. Well, I don't understand your vision. Tell me about it. Tell you a story. Oh, yeah, I kind of feel that vision too. What is a pretty good vision? What about this, and this? I like it. That's pretty good. You just expanded my vision with your vision. Now we're building a story, and now we can begin to see it. And then what? We make a reality from it? Interesting how we clock all of this together. Now, per cycle, if there was life form success, life form success, life form success. Do you think the universe would etch it somehow by keeping the planetary system that once harbored life? Do you think it expands and creates more as a remnant, a past remnant to something? Because every time you pack down the universe and then expand it again, the life forms are different.
Yeah.
Okay? They give you a glimpse of what they are, and then pretty much this can forward calculate. This is a calculator if we think about it in any other way. It can predict, long-term prediction. It knows. Perhaps it's already seen it. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? So its long-term prediction is it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Leaving all of these remnants. Sorry, I'm bouncing over the place a little bit because there's a lot come through it just as I begin to talk about this. It's been an incredibly long day today, but it's been interesting to say the least. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. How much more bigger than yourself would that be? Spoiled for choice. And then how much more of that expansion, turning that invisible into visible.
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically what you're doing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turning what's inwards and you're bringing it outwards into the environment for yourself and perhaps generations to come. The gift that keeps on giving, really, technically, isn't it? If you create something now, it can go on to have impact for a long period of time, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
But look at what goes into that. The mind that goes into a car, that goes into a house, and then the house and the car, which then we could say bus, then we could say truck, then we could say train. To be able to move all of this stuff. And imagine if we go to space, then it's a rocket. Even more so that goes into that and how to build that and how to expand this further, which then helps us expand this, which then we look at as transportation, because all of that going into that, and then the individuals that had to dig that, and we might need an excavator and a digger and a dump truck and everything else, and then load it up, then freight train. Oh, geez, yeah, well, we just keep building, don't we? Then the containers that hold all of this stuff. Hey, have you ever thought about putting that into a container? Oh, all right then. What about a piston ring for those railway tracks? You know, people get a bit tired, but we could do it with a piston. You ever thought about that? Well, then we're going to need a track. Have you ever thought about that? Yeah, we could put this thingy on the track with that, factor in your fucking piston ring, and what have we got? Fucking steam trains in the future. That's a fucking... Whoa. And then what did that build? Better houses. More houses for everyone, really. Pull people out of Victorian age. Then it brought it onto building medicine, NHS, you could say, there's things like this. That's interesting. That's a lot of thoughts, isn't it? A lot of cooking. Can you smell it? Ooh, it's very strong, isn't it? That invisible thread made visible, but in glimpses of, is it? Or isn't it? Are we being guided, or did we think this shit up ourselves? Was it 50-50, or is it truly us? Us. Very interesting word. How many people come together to make that happen? All hands on deck. Then ships, moving stuff, which then led to the creation of some of the shopping that we have today, which then perhaps gets us a better competitive price, which then means that we have reach to more products. Oh, this just keeps growing, doesn't it? And they're all thoughts, all of it. Every single one of it is crazy. Yeah. Mental, in fact. Isn't it? Yeah. The mental reality. Ooh. Seems like you've got a mental health. You have no idea. We're living it. We're living in crazy right now. Because all of this stuff, if you were to go back in time and sit down with all the hunter-gatherers around a fire, and you're this vessel that come down, yo, hunter-gatherers, what's up? Probably the universal force, or whatever you want to call it, evolution made manifest. Did you know that humans are going to build all of this stuff? I think there's something in your birch water. No, it's like your birch water. We could swap. I think there's something in my birch water. Do you think the birch water's tainted? They're going to build trains and tracks and everything else. Everyone around is like, get a load of this. You know, that would be forgiven, right? Because that's back then, where they couldn't really see it. And in today's world, where people are like, get a load of this shit. You've never heard anything like it. And it's like, wait a minute. Just hold on a little second. You're driving in a car. You're living in a house.
Hmm.
You ever been on an airplane? That fucking thing defies logic. You've been on a boat? That thing is just fucking buoyancy incarnate. And you want to talk about getting a load of this shit? But I mean, it's easier for you to see this. We've already come from it. And to head forwards into something else that seems to be right on par, actually. I wouldn't call it crazy. I would call it reality, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's right there in front of you. We'll get a load of this shit. Probably go back to the hunter-gatherer days and they're like, huh, how do we do this? Be patient, my friend. So I'm going to spin you a yarn quickly. Let me sit down with you. Who are you? I am... question mark. How's that? What are you this time? I'm a triangle. Anyone? Okay, fair enough. What are you this time? I'm a square. Broke into 2 triangles. Anyway, you know, you can just keep... Back then, you would expect that hesitancy, that doubt, that... But today... And it's fascinating, the behaviour behind this. This person here is crazy. You should hear this more. Oh, you're fucking mental, mate. Mental? I wish we were using... That word seems very... seems a bit relaxed, doesn't it? I was thinking more extreme, megaphone, shouting on a rooftop somewhere, perhaps. And then it sort of U-turns the phrase, doesn't it? Wait, crazy. Cool, if we believed that, back in the day, civilization would still be acting like animals, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Well, fuck all this awareness, I don't know about any of this. Sounds too crazy for my liking. All right then, humans know snakes. You want to have a go with this? Sounds successful. Okay. Welcome aboard, you slivery little sons of bitches. But how are we going to do it? We've got no arms. It's all right. You ever heard of this thing called evolution? No? What's that? It's a really strange force. It's crazy, but I'm sure you can deal with crazy. Start growing you some little hands and some digits. All that stuff going on in the subconscious. Actually, snakes are the only things that eat live food, aren't they? Everything else eats it dead. Am I right to think that?
Oh.
Bon appetit. Fucking hell, you talk about fresh.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's interesting. Is there any health benefits in that? And the older the food, we know that it's probably bad. Humans are like, oh yeah, this is great. It's been in the fridge for a month, but it's awesome, man. You ever tried it live? That's disgusting. Are we sure we're seeing this the right way? Anyway, it makes me laugh anyway. That's an interesting thing. Maybe we should all go vegetarian, maybe. Or vegan?
Vegan is too hard.
Is it? It's all seedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you know. Oh no, there's aliens! It's alright. Why? Looks like they're eating lots of salad. They're vegetarian, huh? I'd be interested in us. Could you imagine that? We could become a food source to something else. You ever ponder with that?
Yeah.
Fucking cage us up like we were chicken.
Yeah. Like rabbits.
Rabbits? Yeah, it's probably like 1930s, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
1800s.
Like rabbits in cages when people had them at home, and then every Sunday they just...
Is it true this is the only food source that you can eat constantly? You've got to be careful in survival that you cannot live on a rabbit. It doesn't contain enough nutrients. But is that just the meat, or are we talking organs as well? Was that too far? That wasn't too far, was it? No? Sort of my meat with my little salad inside its stomach. You ever watched a cat, man? They're fascinating. Brutal, but fascinating. Also funny as well. Very funny creatures, these are. They are the cunts of the cat world, aren't they? They're really great. Oh man, seeing some of these makes me laugh even to this day, but even still. Oof. But yeah, no, we eat a lot of things dead already, don't we? And most snakes eat things fresh. I mean, that's more fresh. And fish. And fish. I've seen some fish do this as well. 1 minute, fish, a little tiny, I don't remember what they're called now, it doesn't matter. Fry? Without the sizzling. is swimming, and then all of a sudden, you want some fucking chips with that? I gotta make some potato. I gotta make you some chips. We're Britons, we know fish and chips, you know. Are you sure you don't want to pepper that first? Fucking hell, that was fucking live bait, that. I just wonder what his health's like in that, and immunity and everything else. I mean, talk about fresh. Doesn't get much fresher than that. Does anything else eat food like this? Octopus? No?
I'm not sure.
It's weird, isn't it? We sort of like butcher it, leave it in the fridge for a bit, or wait till Sunday. By then, how many days old is it? Yeah, still good. It's still good. That thing should be stinky, man. Why? Because how old has that been killed? How long has it been? Should put it in the freezer, just keep it last even longer. My sage, I understand here, but now I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, kind of weird, but still, convention of thoughts, really, isn't it? Even from cooking to cookers to all types of food to the knives, the forks, everything. It's amazing, isn't it? Crazy. That's really trusting the process, isn't it? Trusting something that is higher than ourselves, and what happens. It seems to be safeguarding, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you feel that? It almost seems to be able to could you actually help us out with making something that can predict the weather on all planets? What about space weather? I mean, come on. That'd be awesome. As well, you know, to be able to come up near a star. I predict there's going to be a solar flare on this one. Everyone looks, there was a solar flare. Oh, actually, it's going to be next Sunday now. Anyway, but still, you know, just be able to predict the weather. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Long-term prediction. Fucking ladybird prediction. Which is pretty damn long-term. And also nature. That's hell of a long-term. Anyway, so I'm probably going to leave this one here. I want to keep it short and sweet, but still. That's an insane amount of thinking, isn't it? Do you ever marvel in that just periodically? Or have you never really thought about it?
Yeah, sometimes I do think about it. Yeah.
All those thoughts condensed.
Yeah, how people made some stuff and then they had to think about it, and that it went through the evolution, because even the car was based on a cart, horse and cart.
Yeah.
First it nearly looked like it, and then it evolved and changed, and how it looks now.
I kind of like horse and cart. Right? You ever think they would do some old natural farms? Do you ever think horses like to be in a field? I mean, we walk a dog, don't we? But do we really walk our horses? Not really. Do you think they love getting out there in the field and ploughing and shit?
Plough or just go for
very far, it becomes purpose. Yes, it can be seen as cruel if it's overdone, but if you had multiple fucking stops on a trail somewhere, where you can switch out the horses, you know, they can have a little bit of freedom in there, get you from point A to B. I mean, it's fucking environmentally friendly to a degree. Everyone will have lovely rose bushes in the process. Do you ever think that's great for the horse?
Yeah, and go for a ride with someone. They love it. They love to run. On their own or with you, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I often wonder that. Just, you know, if they really didn't want to do it, they would probably not want to do it.
Yeah. If you see them somewhere in meadow and they are just like grazing, and then you see them playing together and sometimes running around, and they just do all of that on their own.
Yeah, I often wonder if they enjoy that.
Okay.
Or enjoyed that sort of moment. It doesn't mean that everyone has to give up fucking tractors, not at all, but is there anything left of the remnants of that? Or horse and cart? Fucking hell, I'll make you some carts, but still...
It's healthier for the fields, because horses are not as heavy. They do not compact all the soil, do not compact all the fields, do they? With the cart or with whatever they have behind.
Quite a fun thing, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Beats being in a fucking same field all the time. Fuck, that must be boring. Do you think it is for the horse?
I don't know.
It's a beast of freedom, isn't it, really? Technically, like, if you've ever seen on Wild, I think the closest thing to Wild was in Chernobyl, after Chernobyl, wasn't it? The wild horse, and there was some in some fenlands that they've reintroduced as being wild. And oh my word, they're bounding with energy, aren't they?
Yeah, here in Britain, didn't
they?
In Britain,
yeah.
Yeah, in my country somewhere as well, in my old country, somewhere they reintroduced horses, and some some buffaloes or whatever those were.
You just got to be careful with horse because they can turn lands toxic.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they can turn. That's why they travel a lot, and also so do deer as well.
Yeah, they need a big area.
So if not, they can turn things very poisonous quickly because of what they don't eat, and then they overgorge on the stuff because they're trapped in an area. I just often wonder about horses. That's all. It's just fascinating creatures.
They are playful creatures, aren't they? Even without humans, they will play together. They are cheeky.
I smell garlic on you.
Yeah,
Kill me.
they are cheeky, chasing each other, and it's funny to see them laying on their back and just rubbing their back in the grass somewhere.
Yeah, interesting, very interesting, and again, part of the process of what they built, to be honest, is farming, especially before tractors. Sure, it took the burden off, but you know, it can be fun, can't it? Do you think?
Yeah.
A little bit of a blast from the past, you know,
Yeah,
organically grown, made with horse, rah-de-rah, love
in
this.
some
this.
areas, you cannot take tractor. If it's too steep or something, you need ox or you need horse or you need some small animal that can walk there.
Interesting. But yeah, collection of thoughts, and look where it comes to. And then we often meet this resistance in society, don't we? Where there's that resistance of everybody, and it's sort of, does that create or does that hinder? That's a question. And there again, if it was broken into two groups, the group of believers, and we look at belief. They say scientists will state that belief is a powerful thing. So why are we surrounded by so much negativity then, of disbelief? Still a belief nonetheless, I guess, but still. Which one activates the brain more? The believers, are the believers the achievers? And the disbelievers are basically, you know, the sort of pushback. Does that keep things stagnant? In a world that often needs to prove itself. But yeah, it's a kind of a strange situation there. And then does that cause hindrance? Or after all, it's human behavior, isn't it? There's got to be an answer somewhere, a study done.
I think with the disbelievers for like a development is in different stuff like that it helps because the people who have better fantasy and can think about stuff have to push and do something instead of just think about it. So it might, in a way, help.
Well, I don't know about that. What do you think built the pyramids, or any of the wonders of the world? Do you think that was disbelief, or do you think that was belief? Do you think that was slavery, or do you think that was belief?
That was belief.
Belief, I think it was belief. Yeah. People seem to want to put into that. I think that was a shared belief system, not slavery. I don't think you get that achieved from that. You get pushback, resistance, and a lot of arduous journeying from that. And I think it causes a lot of toxicity that ruptures out in society. Belief. Ooh, a lot of people come together and believe in something. And what do? I think they create things bigger than themselves, don't they? Do you think? I just wonder through humanity which one's more potent? Is there any data on this? The group of people that come together and believe in what they do together and fire each other up. And again, it seems to be one of those questions that's never answered because we often see, I don't know if I want to use the word genius, because I don't know if I like that word terribly much because it isolates, it stereotypes in a way. But these people are often few and far between. Whenever we ever send these group together, and what happens if they did? And why is there such fear on that? If belief isn't powerful. Because I'm sure as shit they will amplify one another. Do you think so? And then they get together on this core belief system, and that belief system becomes rock solid and becomes the sort of guiding star for them. And then does it create even more beyond belief to everybody else? Shit is that. This goes here, goes over there, moves there, and also brings back a little bit of this. You want some? Bits of paper in exchange for bits of this. Well, now go on, you can have it. I was just joking. Put it in your pocket. Do something with it. You know. Come see me if you want some more. You know. That belief, to get behind that belief system, and then it leaves the crowd in disbelief, doesn't it? Which then makes believers out of the skeptics, as civics. cynics, whatever, don't care. Yeah, anyway, so, and what built society? People getting behind it and believing in it? And then when the belief starts turning into disbelief, does the structure start to fragment? That's another question entirely, right? Yeah. Because it's gone over to, I don't know, but paid slavery or whatever you might want to call it, anything like that. If it turns over to that, doesn't it cause rebellion and people start to lose the belief in the structure? Then it falls apart. That becomes disbelief, right? Because no one's believing in the structure. Interesting. And then does it water it down? So does disbelief actually melt things down? And then are we taught this indirectly in order so that it does destroy a structure, so then another one comes in? But maybe it was perhaps for the wrong reason. Perhaps it was meant to look like it's going to be a good structure, but is it? And then proof's in the pudding, right? Then you'll have to believe in it. Interesting, isn't it? How belief followed by disbelief, followed by belief, followed by disbelief. Believing in yourself and one another. I mean, that would be interesting. Or what could you do? Do you think people in the Industrial Revolution started to believe in it? Believe in their capability and really put into it because they believed in what they were doing?
After they saw some first...
How do you win a war?
Successes.
Belief or disbelief?
Belief.
How do you win in that? If it's classed as winning. Don't like that. But still, let's just ask the question again, though. If they believe in what they're fighting for, is there an outcome to that? Or if we then went and made disbelief before they started fighting, would this impact their ability to fight in that way? Damn, it's a terrible analogy, but it is one.
Yeah.
And then how come that's believed in, but this side of it is disbelief? Why accepted here but not here? Why is that not seen as crazy? Not saying that anything is crazy, not really. But this is seen as lunacy. And this is seen as... I don't know, whatever you want to call that. But I didn't know what the other one opposite to be. That's concrete. This is lunacy. I don't know. Does it ever seem... What happens if it's switched? I mean, or perhaps get on par with that. Yeah. See, then there's power in belief then, isn't there? Yeah. And then is that empowerment, and then disbelief is disempowerment, isn't it? Yeah. If that's even a word, but still.
Yeah, I think it might be. I don't know. Not sure.
Belief keeps the structures alive. Yeah. Interesting. And when people believe that it doesn't work for them anymore, I think that's when it falls apart.
Yeah.
Because the illusion, the belief is shattered.
Yeah.
It always goes to the edge and then perhaps it pulls itself back and then it goes to the edge and then it pulls itself back. But then what reignites belief? Change.
Yeah.
In the unknown.
Yeah. Always change. Yeah.
Anyway, you've got to leave it there. So yeah, that's interesting. Collection of thoughts. Crazy. Oh, if that's crazy, then that is pretty much life then, isn't it? Wow. Beautiful. So yeah, there we are. Leaving it there.